Hey guys, so we are going to go through a 15-minute workout that you can do anywhere at home. You don't need any equipment other than your own body. We're going to start with a little bit of a warm-up, which is going to take us maybe about 3 minutes, and then the main component of your workout will be 12 minutes. So this is 15 minutes all up. So the first thing we're going to do is a bit of a mobility warm-up. We're going to do 3 exercises. We're going to do a groiner, we're going to do a towel dislocate, and we're going to do some glute bridges. So the only thing you might also need here is a towel if you've got one. If you do have something like a broomstick or a band at home, you can also use that. So first up, let's get into our groiner position. We're going to do 30 seconds on each exercise, twice through. So coming down into, take a big step forward, so let's try and keep this front shin vertical. We're going to place both of our hands on the ground, and then from here we're going to have a brief pause. We're going to kick that front leg back, and then we're going to alternate. And we're just going to keep alternating between kicking our foot forward, so our big toe is coming right up if we can, in line with our little finger. Just spending a brief second in each position to get that nice stretch out through our hips. 10 more seconds here. So a couple more reps on each leg. In 3, 2, and 1. From here, grab hold of your towel or your band or whatever you've got at home. So we want a nice straight towel. We want to keep our arms really nice and straight. What we're going to do is now open up the chest and shoulders. So we're going to take this towel all the way up and over our head, and then all the way back to our bum. So it comes to the front of our hips and back to our butt without bending the elbows. So we've got 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. So nice straight arms. The key here is to making sure we also keep that ribs over hips position. So we keep nice and controlled through the hips, so we don't do things like this. So we don't move the body, squeeze the thighs, squeeze your bum a little bit, and really focus on opening up and stretching out through those shoulders. Couple more seconds here. So we'll go for a couple more reps. In 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to go down into glute bridges. So now we're going to activate a little bit through the back of the hips. So lie down on the ground, feet about shoulder width apart. From here, we're going to find that ribs over hips position. So pushing our belly button or our lower back into the ground, and then pulsing our hips off the floor. So we're going to move in and out of this position here. When we're at the top, let's focus on doing about a 2-second squeeze, so a 2-second pause. So we're really connecting with the back of our hips and getting those bum cheeks fired up, and making sure we're keeping that nice position of maintaining those ribs over hips and good position of our pelvis. Couple more seconds here, then we're going to go back to the start. In 3, 2, and 1. Great, now we know what we're doing. Let's repeat that with full flow for the next round. So back to your groiner. We've got 30 seconds here. Then we're going to go to those towel dislocates, and then straight into those glute bridges to finish your warm-up. Nice, we've got about another 15 seconds. You can speed it up a little bit this second round, make it a little bit more dynamic. Nice, 5 seconds. Let's do one more on each leg. 3, 2, and 1. Great, grab hold of your towel, your band, or your stick. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your bum. Get into those dislocates. Good, if you want to challenge it a little bit more, this second round of the warm-up, you can try bringing your hands a little bit closer together, but not at the expense of bending those elbows. So remember, we keep a nice straight body line here. Where are we at? 5 more seconds, and then we're down into those glute bridges. In 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then straight down into the ground, into those glute bridges, with that 2-second pause at the top. So last 30 seconds here, and then we're going to get into our workout. Then we've got about another 10 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Alright, in your main workout, we're going to do 40 seconds of work, followed by 20 seconds of rest. We've got 4 exercises. We're going to do lunges, push-ups, squats, and plank. I'm just going to set my timer up on my phone. So if you've got a little Tabata timer on your phone, this is a great tool to have. Otherwise, get your watch, or get your stopwatch out ready. So we're going to have a 5-second countdown, and we're going to start with those lunges. We've got 4 exercises, it's a minute on each, so 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We're going to do it 3 times 3 for 12 minutes. So we have a 5-second count in, get ready into those lunges. Great, so level 1 on your lunge, we take that step back, and we're going to pulse up and down. So if you need a little bit more stability with your lunge position, you're going to pulse up and down on the spot rather than travelling. So for this version, you're going to do 20 seconds on one leg, and then you're going to swap, and you're going to do 20 seconds on the other. So we think about keeping the torso up really nice and high. And to be in like a mid-range of a lunge, so about 90 degrees in that front leg, about 90 degrees in that back leg, to work our legs sort of evenly between the front and the back. We've got 5 seconds. Great, let's take a breather. 20 seconds to shake out. Now we're going to move into the push-up. So your level of your push-up will start on the knees. If you're someone that struggles even with knee push-ups, you may find you want to grab yourself something like a chair or using the end of a bench and to start on an incline. Alright, let's go. 40 seconds. So from here, we want the hands just on the outside of the shoulders. We want to make sure we're maintaining that really nice strong middle here. So maintaining those ribs over hips. What we don't want to do is like lead forward with the belly or have the bum poke too far back. So think nice straight line between knees, hips and shoulders. And then we're just going to be taking the middle of the chest down towards the edge of either your seat or your bed, your chair, whatever you've got to help you here if you need to do it on an incline. 5 seconds. Great, we've got a 20-second rest. The next one we're going into are your body weight squats. So from here, again, everyone's squat stance is slightly different. So step your feet apart enough that when you drop your bum down, we're aiming to try and get our hip crease just underneath our knee crease. Arms out in front of you. Alright, let's go. So dropping the bum down just underneath the knees and then standing up nice and tall. So as you stand up, give your thighs a good squeeze and your bum a good squeeze. So from here, everyone's range of motion with squats is slightly different. So you're just going to drop your bum down as low as is comfortable for you, making sure you're maintaining that really nice posture with your upper back, your lower back, and making sure that you're landing those knees over the middle of the toes when you're pushing your knees out to the side at the bottom. Okay, we've got a couple more seconds here. In 4. Great, 20 seconds, shake it out. And then the last exercise of the round, we're going to do a plank. So from here, we're going to go down onto our elbows. And then if we need to, our level 1 of the plank, we're going to do this from the knees, okay? So the main thing here again, imagine you've got a tail and you're tucking it in. Alright, time on. We're going to hold ourselves in this position here. So the whole time we're down in our plank, we're thinking about trying to keep that distance between our ribs and our hips the same. So we're not sagging the belly to the floor, but we're not taking tension out of the abdominals by poking the bum in the air. So think hips to the ground, tucking that imaginary tail between your legs and holding that position firm. We've got about another 10 seconds to go here. And then we're going to go back to the start. So we're going to go back up to those lunges. In 3, 2, 1, cool. 20 seconds breather. Now if that last level of lunges was good for you, you stick with that level of just pulsing up and down. If you need something a little bit more challenging, we're going to go to the next level up. So now we're going to do a reverse lunge and we're going to step back and come forward again. So 3, 2, 1, great. So now from here, with your reverse lunges, if you still feel a little bit more stable, standing on one side, then we're going to do one leg first for 20 seconds at this 40-second time. We're just going to step that foot back, and then we're going to stand up nice and tall and bring those feet together. Once you've done 20 seconds on one leg, you're going to swap, and you're going to go for 20 seconds on the other. Great, nice job guys. We've got another 10 seconds on this leg, and then we go into those push-ups. In 3. Now if you're good on an incline for your push-ups, stay there if that level works for you. If you want to go up a level, now we're going to stay on the knees, but we're going to come down to the ground. So now in a similar position to what you just were with your plank, except now we're going to push up onto straight arms and go from here. So 40 seconds. Again, remember we keep that tail tucked between our legs, so we keep those ribs and those hips in a good position. As we drop our chest to the ground, we want to think about letting our elbows track about 45 degrees from the torso. So we want to avoid making the arms go really square. So what we don't want in a push-up is like this, and the elbows to shoot out to the side. So we want them to stay tucked in a little bit, so that then we really have to drive through the chest to push ourselves out of that push-up position. Couple more seconds. Great. Now we're going back up to your squats. Now for your squats, if you want to make your squats a little bit harder, if you've got something at home that you can hold in your hands to add a little bit of weight to it, maybe you've got some weights, great, you can add that to it. Maybe you've got something like a large container of water or a heavyish bag of flour or something. You can hold that in your hands, and we can hold that in a goblet position. Otherwise, let's just stay with body weight. So again, remembering we're trying to drop that hip crease just underneath the knee crease if we can. Otherwise, work to your own range of motion without compromising your position. So what we don't want is to get a big lean or a big tip forward from the torso. So hold those arms out in front of you to help with that counterbalance and maintaining that nice posture. Maybe you've got a relatively heavy child you could hold on to here. It might want to join you for a workout and add some load to your squats. 3, 2, and 1. Quick shake out, 20 seconds. Then we're going to go down into the plank. So this time, if you want to do your plank a little harder, we're going to take the knees off the ground and we're going to be up on our tiptoes. So we have 10 seconds. In 5. So elbows on the shoulders. Great, off we go. So 40 seconds. Again, maintaining that ribs over hips position. And thinking about just pushing ourselves away from our elbows slightly. So we're rounding out through those shoulder blades just a little bit. And our focus here is to really try and keep as much tension as we can in our midsection. Good. And we want to keep breathing through it as well. So try not to hold your breath when you're doing your isometric holds or when you're holding something for time. We want to be engaged in the core, holding our body tight at the same time, making sure that we're breathing through it. You got 5 seconds. Great, that's the second round done. We got one more round to go. So now we're going to go back up to the top. We're going to go back to your lunges. We're going to stick with that reverse lunge. But now, if you want to make it a little harder, then we're going to travel, we're going to alternate sides. So rather doing one leg at a time, we're going to swap sides over as we go. So we'll step back with the right leg, come back to the middle, and then step back with the left. So this is a little harder again from the version you've just done. So if you need something that's a little bit more of a challenge, then you can go into this version of your lunge. Otherwise, stick with the previous versions that work better for you. So we want to focus more on stability with the lunge, so making sure that this front knee stays tracked over the middle of the toe. So we don't want to compromise our position in our lunge for instability, so having like the knee fall into the middle. So you can use that as a bit of feedback to know what variation works better for you. Last one. Great, little shake out, then we go into push-ups. Now if you want to make your push-ups a little bit more challenging, you can go from the toes. I'm not sure if I'll get 40 seconds of push-ups in on my toes, but I'll start there and do as many as I can, and then I'll come down to my knees. Great, so from here, think about screwing the hands into the floor, so we get that tension in the shoulders, and then same as what we did when we were on our knees, we're allowing the elbows to track about 45 degrees from the torso. So what we don't want to happen here in this push-up, to come up onto our toes, is to sag the belly towards the floor, or when we're pushing up, to feel like we're kind of doing a worm. So you want to make sure you hold that midsection really tight. Just the same way you would when you do a plank. We've got about 7 seconds left to go. Can I squeeze that a couple more? You! Woo! Little shake out. we're going to go back up to your squats. So again, make this more challenging just by adding a little bit of load if you can. Or if you want to, just think about moving slower. So slower down, slower up. That will add some more resistance to your thighs to make this more challenging. Time on, let's go. So this is our last 40 seconds here. So let's maybe go a little slower. So maybe down for about a count of 3, and then up for a count of 3. Great. So if you're at home and you haven't got any additional weight or something you can add to it, but you can make it a little bit more challenging, thinking about timing and like tempo with your move. So just move slower. The slower you move through it, the more resistance you'll kind of put through the muscle as you're moving with a bit more control, more time under tension, and that will help you to increase the difficulty of the exercise if you feel like you need it. Otherwise, just keep to a steady pace. Great, we've got one more exercise to go, and that's the plank. So this time, I'm just going to show you a slightly different variation. So we're going to come up into straight hands. This helps to work the shoulder girdle and the upper back a little bit more. So if you want a bit more of a challenge for the upper body at the same time as the core, we'll go straight arms, hands under wrists. Great. So again, tuck that tail in, and then think about pushing yourself away from your hands. So we're opening up the shoulder blades up. We're not kind of sinking the body or trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're trying to push ourselves away from our hands and tuck our tailbone in. A bit like the hollow hold position when we're down on the ground for abs, but up in the plank. Last 15 seconds here, guys, and then we're done. Keep breathing through it. Keep pushing yourself away from your hands with that intention. Keep that tail tucked in. In 3, 2, 1, and time. Good job, guys. So that's your 12-minute at-home workout with a 3-minute warm-up. After you're finished, spend a couple of minutes having a little bit of a cool down or a stretch. So we've worked the legs a little bit today. So maybe 30 seconds on each leg, giving yourself that little bit of a quad stretch. So do 30 seconds on one side, then swap legs over, 30 seconds on the other. We've had a little bit of work through the chest. So find yourself a wall or a door frame. Get your elbow, your wrist and your forearm on the